The guardian dog that never had to fight. Everyone wants a story. They want to hear about the night their dog chased something off. They want scars, encounters, proof. But the best guardian dogs don't have stories like that. No dramatic footage, no late night chaos, no hero moment to tell people about. And that's not because they're weak. It's because nothing ever escalated far enough to become a story. Humans measure success through events. We trust what we can remember. We believe what leaves a mark. So when someone asks, "What is your guardian dog stopped?" And the honest answer is, nothing that ever turned into anything. That feels unsatisfying. But in the guardian world, that's the highest compliment possible. A real guardian dog does most of its work before anything physical happens. Not by intimidation, not by chasing, not by confrontation, but by presence that never changes. The kind of presence that makes escalation unnecessary. That work doesn't show up in stories. It shows up in absence. Any physical confrontation means several things already went wrong. It means boundaries weren't clear early. Space wasn't respected. Risk wasn't resolved upstream. A fight is not proof of effectiveness. It's proof the system reached its loudest, most expensive stage. The best systems never get there. Some dogs don't posture. They don't pace aggressively. They don't rush movement. They hold space the same way every day, every night. Those dogs don't need to prove dominance because nothing challenges it long enough to require proof. Consistency replaces conflict. The more dramatic a dog's response is, the more information it releases. Movement reveals limits. Sound reveals timing. Chasing reveals distance. A dog that reacts loudly teaches the environment exactly how it responds. A dog that doesn't escalate teaches nothing. And what can't be learned can't be exploited. Activity looks productive to humans. Pacing, alert barking, constant movement. Effectiveness looks boring. Stillness, repetition, predictable presence. The dog that never had to fight is rarely the most active one. It's the most unchanging one. Owners often escalate situations without realizing it. They rush to intervene, reward dramatic behavior, praise visible action. This teaches the dog that action is expected, but action is not the goal. Resolution without escalation is. Some guardian dogs solve problems before they form. They reposition quietly. They block access without advancing. They remain present long after curiosity fades. By the time something could have happened, interest is already gone. That's why there's no story. A dog with many encounters is not necessarily more effective. Sometimes it just means pressure reached the dog repeatedly. Earlier deterrents failed. Boundaries were unclear. A dog with no encounters may actually be operating at a higher level. Less experience can mean better prevention. Nothing happening feels like luck, so owners assume we've just been fortunate. They don't credit the dog because there's nothing dramatic to point to. But long-term calm is rarely accidental. It's maintained. A successful night isn't loud. It looks like livestock resting normally. No sudden movements. No broken routines. No interruption. The guardian dog doesn't stand out. It blends into stability. You can't sell silence easily. You can't post nothing happened and expect applause. That's why people gravitate toward dramatic examples. But drama is not a metric of quality. Longevity is. A dog that never had to fight is a dog that avoids injury, avoids escalation, avoids legal risk, and avoids loss. Year after year, that matters more than any single encounter. The goal is not to win conflicts, it's to eliminate the need for them. If your guardian dog has no stories, no scars, no moments you tell people about, that doesn't mean it's doing nothing. It means everything was handled quietly, early, and consistently. The best guardian dog is not the one with the best story. It's the one that made sure there was never a story to tell. Many guardian dogs don't fail. They get removed. Not because something went wrong, but because nothing obvious happened. Owners assume, we don't really need this dog. Silence gets mistaken for uselessness, and that assumption is one of the most expensive mistakes people make. There's a pattern that shows up over and over. A dog works quietly for months or years. No incidents, no drama, no losses. So the owner rehomes the dog, moves it closer to the house, gives it away, or stops prioritizing its role, and then something finally happens. The timing feels cruel, but it's not random. The dog wasn't unnecessary. It was preventing a moment the owner never saw coming. People tell themselves, we've been fine so far. But so far is not a strategy. Quiet prevention creates a false sense of security. It feels like luck. It feels like overkill. Until the pressure returns and the buffer is gone. Once the quiet guardian is removed, things don't always fail immediately. At first, livestock routines change subtly. Nighttime movement increases. Curiosity returns to the edges. Then one day, one animal is injured. Something disappears. Or the environment suddenly feels different. That's when people realize what the dog had been holding together. The dog didn't announce its work. It didn't bring evidence. It didn't escalate problems into stories. So humans credited fences, location, luck, nothing really being out here. But the dog was part of the system, even if it was invisible. Not all dogs that look intimidating are actually effective. Some dogs bark constantly, posture aggressively, rush movement. They look impressive, they sound convincing. But when pressure increases, they don't always follow through. They sell the idea of deterrence without the substance. Dogs that advertise themselves loudly can trick owners. People assume nothing would dare come in here, but loudness doesn't equal readiness. Sometimes it just means the dog is reactive, overstimulated, uncertain. Noise can mask fragility. When a real challenge finally arrives, some dogs freeze. They've spent all their energy broadcasting, not assessing. They've rehearsed warnings, not decisions. This is when owners realize the dog looked ready, but wasn't. Quiet dogs don't convince people easily. Performative dogs do. But performative behavior is for observers. Effective behavior is for outcomes. The dog that never had to fight may be far more capable than the one that always looks busy. The dogs most likely to be removed are often the ones doing the best job. And the dogs most likely to be trusted are sometimes the least prepared for real pressure. That irony is why so many people only understand their guardian dog's value after it's gone. Some dogs look like heroes. Some dogs actually prevent disasters. The difference is usually silence. So before you decide your guardian dog isn't doing much, take a real look at what kind of dog you have. Is it quiet but steady? holding the same space night after night without needing to prove anything? Or is it loud and convincing but constantly performing for you instead of resolving things on its own? One of those dogs prevents problems you'll never see. The other can look impressive right up until the moment it actually matters. The hard part isn't choosing which dog you prefer. It's recognizing which one you already have before the environment forces the answer for you. If you enjoyed this video or if you learned something new, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.